On IMDb, Redbur says Godzilla is banging epic, lead by best actor right now. Horrifying, terrifying. My childhood fear of an enormous dragon or nearby dwelling monster shaking our hearts with a dreadful roar. Yeah, it's here. And I love movies focused on delivering an experience for the emotions. That which you fear, you are drawn to by excitement. And this is one you sit in the chair, knee-jerking through the previews. Once it begins, you're in for an adventure. Movies are adventures as songs are too, with rhythm and melody executed to capture our emotions and connect with our senses. Godzilla truly is the picture that does this. Led by a powerhouse actor, Bryan Cranston, this guy is unmatched right now, and only maybe by Daniel Day-Lewis. Would that be a scene? He is a true actor you look up to, and him in this film, with this kind of emotional impact, it's even more terrifying. We've been in 2012 hangover mode, having two summers being 2013 and now 2014, run by blockbusters that merely dance our $500 million after year by year Harry Potter, Dark Knight bangers hitting billions, enjoying excitement into moviegoers worldwide. We need a movie like Godzilla as we creep into another era of banging epics. It's certainly the epic we deserve. 10 stars.
Relax. Okay.
Why did Daniel Day-Lewis come into it?
They're comparing Bryan Cranston to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay.
I like how he also says, like,
Fair.
would that be a scene? Like, if Daniel Day-Lewis was in this movie with Bryan Cranston, and, like, they just talked for a second, I guess.
I think if they're comparing, Bryan Cranston is less of a, I am this character now, you know? He's not going to put people out like Daniel Day-Lewis famously has.
Right.
Like, carry me up those stairs because my character's a paraplegic. Like, hey, Dan, get up. Asshole.
Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And I'm Mark.
And we are back once again talking 2014 Godzilla. And as you've heard, Mark Ponte's on the program. How are you guys doing?
We're both good.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Thank you for answering for me.
I was thinking of how I can make it rhyme, but I just couldn't.
That's okay. It doesn't have to work every time.
How are we, Dilla?
There you go.
That doesn't work.
Not at all.
No, unclear what you're asking.
Yeah.
That's
I just like to say things in a very encouraging tone.
I appreciate that. That's what keeps me going, Andy.
Yeah. Like, that didn't work at all.
But I'm glad Mark answered for both you, so that means I don't have to ask again. So, have you guys seen Godzilla before?
Yes.
No.
Did you guys see... Well, okay, Mark, did you see it in theaters?
Yes.
So did I. Good podcast. Later, Andy.
Okay.
Discussion ended.
Hey, Andy, what year did this come out?
I believe it was the year of our Megazord 2014.
What were the top movies of 2014?
I'm thrilled that you asked, Rob.
Are you thrilled? Are you God Thrilla?
Oh, shit. Well, number one is previous episode, Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a personal favorite of mine.
It's an excellent movie.
It is.
It is.
And then number two is Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Like, I'm Jay. Boo, 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 boo. I'm Jay.
Yeah,
Very good.
that's the movie.
Yep.
It's two of those.
Grossed $300 million. That's insane.
I can't believe it worked. All right.
Yeah. And
Learn
there's
as
a
a
part
book.
2, apparently.
Yeah, it's two movies of that. Yeah.
Wow. Number three is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie. Number 4 is the Lego Movie, which is also a good movie.
It is.
Big year for Chris Pratt.
Yeah. And number 5 is Transformers: Age of Extinction. Emphasis on the stink.
Very
I've
good,
never seen
Andy.
it, but you just assume, you know. You just assume.
You know what happens when you assume, Andy?
You make an assumption.
Andy.
Yeah.
Do you know what happens when you assume?
Yeah, you make an assumption.
Yes, so. That's right.
Got him.
You make an as out of Sumi.
Very good. Excellent.
Very, very good.
Hey, you guys want to talk about Godzilla?
You know
Yeah.
I do.
That's the Southern Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
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 Oh no, Ma, we got another Godzilla coming out the water.
As one big lizard.
I like these credits because they're very similar to the credits in Kong, which we talked about last week. Go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, brother.
Japan is trying to destroy Godzilla in 1954. This explosion would have killed so many people.
Yeah.
And I like the opening title card of just Godzilla over a white screen.
So how do you guys feel that Godzilla isn't born from like nuclear bombs being dropped? I feel like when I think Godzilla, I think he's born from that, right?
Yeah.
That's why he exists.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they wanted to make movies about him fighting other people, and I guess they were concerned about explaining how there were so many other people as well to fight that were huge.
Yeah.
So I think they were just like blanket term. Everyone's a Titan, even though they're all completely and vastly different. They're all the same species.
Yeah.
Just like people.
Yeah, just like people. Some people
Yes.
have tusks and are made out of moss. You know, some people are reptiles.
Yeah. No.
Well, no, there are actual people who are reptiles.
That's true.
Let's get it right.
People's a strong word, though.
Yeah. But I think there are, even in the Toho Godzilla films, there are different beginnings of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Are there? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just a different type, just a different origin story for Godzilla that fits the Monsterverse they're creating.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I should probably say, I probably should have said it last week too. I'm not very well versed in monster movies like this, like kaijus and whatnot. I'm not. Also, here's a question. Do kaijus have bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs because they're kaijuish?
Very, very good.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. I told that joke to my wife, and she glared at me.
Yeah, sure.
said-
yeah, that makes sense.
No, that tracks. Yeah.
I said, "There's a smile in there," and she assured me there was not.
Yeah, it's just like a dog that wags his tail. It's not always happy to see you, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You gotta look at the teeth.
Yeah. That was my mistake. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not very well versed in this kind of stuff. So I will be asking questions that I assume you guys will have the answers to.
We hope to. And if not, we'll just tell you it's a stupid question.
F-
And
fair.
we will refuse to expound further.
Okay. A little rude, but fair.
We're in the Philippines in 1999. They're in the diamond mines from the rundown, apparently.
Previous episode.
Monarch helicopter lands with Dr. Ishiro Serizawa. It's Ken Watanabe. They've discovered some big old fossils. And they're right away like, do you think it's him? And he just knows that it isn't. He's like, no, these are older bones. It's like, how do you know? This is dimly lit.
Yeah, like he didn't like put it under a microscope. He just took a glance at it. He's like, nah.
Those are definitely older bones. All right, Ken, sure.
Well, maybe he's thinking like, you know, if it would have taken longer than 40 years to decompose since they last saw him.
That's fair. That is a fair point. They find some eggs. One of them has seemingly hatched. Nobody sees the giant trail of destruction before they get there.
Yeah.
Like the camera zooms out from the cave, and there's just a path of just trees destroyed as the monster made its way out of there.
Just to clarify, this is a direct sequel to the 1998 film, correct?
No, it is
Can't be,
not.
right? Okay. All right. You had me spooked for a second.
I knew. And it was like, Eddie really bought that for a second.
I did for a split second. I was like, no fucking way.
Matthew Broderick has a cameo, yeah.
But that was the thing that just caught me off guard. That like, oh my god, it hatched. It's like, well, obviously, look at the fucking destruction it left behind.
Yeah. No one turned around before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all looking that way that whole time.
Now we're in Japan with Joe Brody. What a generic fucking creator wrestler name.
Well, he's a generic fucking. Wait. Is this Bryan Cranston?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. He's the highlight of this movie.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah. But it's just the name Joe Brody. It's like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then his son's name is Ford.
Yeah.
That's America.
Yeah, Ford. Stupid fucking name.
Their daughter's named Chevy.
Yeah. And then they adopted a kid. Their name's Hyundai.
Very good. Stupid. Now, Brody, that is definitely a reference to Jaws, right? Using the last name Brody.
I would imagine, yeah.
Joe Brody is an engineer who is demanding a meeting because of unusual seismic readings. And they go to the power plant, and his wife's like, I'm going to go into the reactor to look at it.
Yeah, let me take a gander.
It's like, okay. There's a big tremor. Joe's like, shut it all down. And they're like, that's a bad idea, but okay. Questions. When this thing breaches, is this team of whatever they are they the fastest people in the world, or is this the slowest water in the world?
They don't. Also, there's no vehicles. They don't give them like a little go-kart or something.
Yeah, that's a long trek.
Yeah, it's like just that one tunnel's like fucking forever. Like it looks like you would take like an hour to get to the end of it.
Yeah, they should have like
you're not even there yet.
Yeah, like a golf cart or something.
Yeah,
it's a 4-mile walk.
A full-sized car. It was a big hallway. Like there's no other cars. You don't have to worry about like turning around.
Yeah, there's no traffic. Like don't worry about it.
Well, I'd imagine if they did try to turn around, it becomes that scene in Austin Powers where they're just stuck as the water's coming.
Yeah.
So better that they should just walk the whole thing.
Is it water or is it like gas?
At one point, that's definitely water pouring at them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, again, Bryan Cranston is what's selling this. Because off the bat, we have so many questions about what's going on here.
Yeah.
But Bryan Cranston is selling the living shit out of it with his performance.
Mm-hmm.
He really does. It's almost like he said, I'll be in half your movie, and I will give everything for that half a movie. I'm
going to be in 1/3 of your movie and make that 1/3 the best part.
Yeah, because he really does. He carries the part he's in.
Yeah. Now, Robbie, last week, I said some not so kind things about this movie, and you got a little upset. I'm curious to see why.
I just like Godzilla. No, this movie's not that great.
This movie's pretty fucking dull, brother.
I have serious issues with this movie.
Kong is a much more fun movie than this.
Vastly superior.
Yeah. Yes. I totally agree.
Every other movie in this franchise is better than this movie.
Really? Okay. I know this is your boy. He did Rogue One as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great director.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when this movie is good, it's great. But it's rarely doing anything. There's a lot of nothing.
Yes.
With nothing characters.
This falls into the trap of we're focusing a lot on human characters who don't matter. And a lot of people just sit around going, all right, what are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
They tried to do the Jaws thing where it's like, less is more with Godzilla. And you just don't it works with Jaws because like everything that's happening in between the shark scenes is still great. Like,
right.
And this is just very whatever, like straight down the road. Just okay, we're just we're here, and he's there every step of the journey. I guess he just happens to luck out and be there every single instance.
He's so generic.
Yeah,
he even like no no personal offense to the actor. What's his name?
Aaron Taylor
Johnson.
Raven the Hunter.
Yeah, the voice of Peach.
Mm.
Well, he just looks generic. He's just like everything about him and his character in this movie is just like I could put anyone in there. Doesn't have to be this guy. Like make it your own in some way. Like it's just nothing. It's nothing.
That's part of the problem is I would say in a Godzilla movie or in any of these kaiju movies, you can do that. You can make your main human character boring, but then you have to show the monster.
Yeah,
and
that has to be the focus, really. I mean, if you're not going to do a good job of making these people seem like people that I care about,
exactly.
Right. And the thing is, I know that the Simpsons joke, like if Poochie's not on the screen, the character should be asking, "Where's Poochie?" But like in a Godzilla movie, I'm going to be asking, "Where's Godzilla?"
Yeah.
And they don't answer that question for 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah. And then they even almost like tease you with like there's a fight, and then it just cuts
happens
away.
off screen.
And it's like in the news camera in the background. And then the end of it's literally just, and then they left. Like there was no real explanation. They were just, then the fight was over and they both left. Oh, okay, I guess.
I would say that's a creative decision that if you're going to go with, you have to lean into it, and they don't do it enough.
No.
Because you're right. There's a scene where it's almost like they wanted to show it from the people's perspective of how, if you're a person on the ground, how you'd watch it. But then they also wanted to make sure they still put in the regular film elements of showing this big monster fight. Mm-hmm. So, there's this scene where Elizabeth Olsen and them, they're running away from the fight, which makes sense because you're going to run away from it. And so they don't show the fight. Like you guys said, it happens off screen because they ran away. But if you're going to do that. Do the Cloverfield way of doing things and show it from their perspective. Don't do this thing where, okay, you didn't see the monster at all. We didn't see anything happen. There's no chaos. And then when something starts happening, no, you don't get to see it.
Yeah.
And to Mark's point earlier when he was talking about Jaws, you're right. Not only is Jaws it's interesting when they're talking about dealing with Jaws, but in Jaws, you don't have a second monster running around. It's like, yes, the movie's called Jaws, though. Mm-hmm. This movie's not called Mudos. This movie's not even called Godzilla versus the Mudos.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not wasting, but we're spending a lot of time with these things. And it's like, I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
And they're very like, they also are pretty generic. They apparently based the design off of like Starship Troopers.
I can see that.
But to me, it just looks like a Cloverfield ripoff. Like it just looks like they just ripped out Cloverfield, and then they said Starship Troopers just to kind of like, oh yeah, I guess you could kind of look at that and think that. But no, to me, they just ripped out Cloverfield, and they were like, yeah, it's Godzilla versus Cloverfield.
Which you know what? That's a movie.
I'd see that if they called it that, and it was really Cloverfield.
Yeah, but I'm just confused about the choice to make your Godzilla movie boring. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me that like this was pitched to executives and they were like, you can't tell me they weren't like, this sounds boring. This sounds like this is going to be boring as hell.
Yeah, I think they were pitched. This was during the dark, gritty reboot era. So I think that's probably true. What they were like, oh, it's a dark, gritty reboot of Godzilla, and it's told from the perspective of this it's a family drama. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sure they managed to find a way to pit. I mean, that sounds really exciting the way I just described it.
Yeah.
Does it?
Sounds more exciting than what they ended up doing.
Yeah, than what we got.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is totally true.
I don't know. Like, I was kind of looking forward to enjoying that. I thought, because I like slow burn kind of stuff sometimes, and like this could have been like you could do what they did, but more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You like make the characters something.
Yeah.
Then it's fine, but like they're nothing, so it's boring.
It's just full of great shots, and I feel like Rogue One's like that too. It's just like kind of filled with really great shots.
Cut out the Mudos. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, just
it
have
should
them
be a movie.
wreck shit. Yeah.
Yeah, where Godzilla is wrecking shit, and the people need to figure out how to stop him.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
But they're like setting him up as a hero.
Yeah. Well, still,
which I
don't
thought
know.
was bizarre. It was bizarre. The turn, like, I'm sorry to jump like to the end of the movie, but like at the end of the movie, like he fucking passes out, right? He beats the bad guys and he passes out. And then he just sleeps there for like a day.
Yeah.
And everybody's like cleaning up around him. And then he wakes up. Everyone's like, oh shit. And rather than everybody be like, oh my God, they're like, yay, it's Godzilla. Like, how do you know his intentions? It's a giant lizard.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
And then just slept. He's going to wake up hungry.
You just turn around and start destroying the buildings. Oh, no, I guess he's also just wants to kill us. Okay.
Also, the broadcast says, like, King of Monsters. He's our savior. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Also, just him getting up and walking into the ocean, he killed like 1,000 people.
Yeah, he had to have.
Yeah, his tail was like dragging on the ground. Like, what do you...
That's why it's a great angle to say it's just nature. He's neither good nor bad. He's just a creature. But then to celebrate him as a hero, it's like, no, that's not what he is.
Right.
Yeah. He may right at the end, even when I saw it initially, I was like, he's like one idiot writer away from giving Aaron Taylor Johnson a thumbs up, like when he's on the boat, like
well,
give a thumbs up.
There's a point where he's like downed and he looks at Aaron Taylor Johnson and there's like sympathy in his eyes.
Yeah, it's one of those days, huh?
And I was like, what is this, Godzilla 1999? What's going on? Or 98, whatever the fuck.
Very good.
What's going on here? Because that was bad in there, and everybody complains about that. Why would you do it again?
Yeah, but that's a classic monster movie. Like, oh, who's the real monster? Like, but they're really
it was like in
monsters.
Kong, the stare down between Kong and Samuel L. Jackson, except it was done well there.
Yeah, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, what a great movie that is. You guys should do that movie.
We did last week.
No. When Sandra, Joe's wife, and the team, the water is breaching and everything, Joe, stop talking to your wife. Let her run. And then she stops. Like someone falls, and she just stops pulling him, and then stares at the water coming at them.
Yeah.
It's like, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, that guy was already done. I mean, you were barely going to make it. Did anyone even make it?
No.
The door was closed long before they even got there anyway.
Yeah.
It really didn't matter.
That scene it's good because he closes the doors and he's distraught, and then boom, face, and he's like literally face to face with it.
Yeah.
And like, he had to close the door. Yeah. And she told him to do it. And like the way he played, like and even the wife, I don't know the actress's name, but she's crushing it too.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, that's heart wrenching. Like to imagine being through that. That's fucking rough. So like, at first I'm like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a strong start. It is.
Yeah.
She should have hit the glass and said, I shouldn't have stopped for him.
Doesn't matter. None of you were here in time at all.
Just try to take some of the guilt off the guy, though.
Yeah.
No, it's his fault.
I mean, the dude's wife died on his birthday. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rough birthday.
Yeah.
The kid is at school and watches the power plant collapse and obviously assumes the worst because why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So now we're 15 years later. Ford Brody is returning home to San Francisco from the military. He has a wife and kid. His wife is Elizabeth Olsen. And
weird.
What's weird about that?
They're brother and sister in Age of Ultron.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Didn't that come out? No, that came out not that year.
No,
I think it was before that. Right?
I'm not sure.
No, it came out after this. Age of Ultron wasn't that 2015?
Maybe. It was right around then, though. To me, it's still weird.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, his face is so generic. I'm sorry. That's why I can never, like, he's in a lot of things I've seen, but then, like, I don't remember that he's in it because he's just a fine actor. I can't remember his face, He's kick-ass in Kick-Ass.
Yeah. He's specifically, They cast him, I think, because he's like specifically the whole point of Kick-Ass is he's basically nobody.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, this guy looks like fucking nobody. This is perfect.
This guy's nothing.
I already forgot him, and I'm looking at him right in the face.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't get a star. He's like, come on, guys.
This plain as the nose on Aaron Taylor Johnson's face.
Guys, I'm right here. You are really hurting my feelings.
He said my full name.
This is devastating. Right before intercourse, the phone rings, and Ford's dad, Joe, is being arrested in Japan for trespassing in the quarantine zone. This is a case of they assumed the audience was stupid because they just get a call. It's like, hey, your father's in Japan being detained. And then the next scene, they feel the need to put a title card up telling you we're in Tokyo. Yeah. I'm watching the movie.
Yeah.
Joe is a conspiracy theorist now. He wants to find out what really happened. And he's convinced it wasn't a natural disaster. I think on a technicality, a monster attack would count as a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, they come from the earth.
Yeah.
Although, like, if somebody died from getting, like, gored by a bull, I wouldn't say they died of natural causes.
That's true.
No, but that's not a natural disaster. Like, if a Godzilla... Okay, so a hurricane is a natural disaster that wipes out a shit ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think it would need to be more than one person being a natural disaster. Like, I get what you're saying. A gored by a bull is not a natural death. Like death by natural cause. I understand that.
Organic, all natural.
That's how my 94-year-old grandma went.
Oh my
Gored
God.
by a bull.
Natural causes.
Natural causes.
But like, if a hurricane sweeps through and kills a bunch of people, that's a natural disaster.
Sure.
If Godzilla comes through and kills a bunch of people, I don't know, man. That's a natural disaster.
Yeah, I'd still think there's a distinction, though. They're like, it's technically a natural disaster. It's like, yeah, but it was a giant monster, so I feel like that's a little different. Like, there should be
I think that would go under its own
disaster hyphen giant monster. You know, like that should noted at least. Yeah,
its own category.
All right, that's fair.
At least a subcategory.
Here's a question. Is Bryan Cranston's hair a wig? It looks like a wig.
Idea.
It might be.
I think, was he still filming Breaking Bad at this point?
He might have been. I feel like this came out just not long after the show ended. It started in 2008, and it ran for like 6 years. So it's possible that filming was pretty close.
Looks like a wig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. I think I know what now that I'm thinking about it,
you know what it is?
It's like a wig.
It's when you got a wrinkly face and you have no, like, if you have a wrinkly face and your hair is like one color, it ain't right. You know, there should be like salt and pepper in there. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I guess, yeah.
Or you dye it.
But then it just looks unnatural, right?
Yeah.
Like, you ever see an old man with jet black hair? And you're just like, what are you doing,
It's
man?
like disturbing.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Drinking a glass of milk.
I like this idea that he's a conspiracy nut. All he cares about is learning the truth, but he also dyes his hair.
Yeah.
He doesn't leave his house, but he wants to look good doing it.
I think it's just not a great wig that the props department had, or makeup, rather.
Probably.
That's totally fair. The next morning, Joe is tracking seismic readings. He's going to head back to the quarantine zone. Ford doesn't want him to go. And, well, I guess they do. He just says like one thing, and they just looks at him for a second, and then they're in the quarantine zone.
Yeah.
It took zero convincing to get his kid there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, they play him off as like a kook, but everything he says makes sense.
Well, that's your typical monster movie trope, though.
Right, but like, usually the kook is like, they also have some other weird quirks about them that make them less credible. But Bryan Cranston is by all means otherwise a completely normal man. You know? And he's credible. He was a scientist. You know, he was there on the day. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
you know, maybe give him something else that makes him less credible. But like, even when after he dies, they ask his son, they're like, did he tell you anything else? He's like, I just thought he was crazy. Like, why? Why did you think he was crazy?
You know what it is? I think it justifies it because looking at him going, he blames himself for killing his wife. So now he's trying to justify it, though. Maybe it wasn't totally his fault. Now that's headcanon.
Sure. And it's good headcanon. It checks like that. That would make sense.
Gross.
But like,
What?
Good
headcanon.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I think, again, Bryan Cranston is elevating this material.
Yes.
It's all not great,
I agree.
and he's making it great.
Yeah.
Because
I think there's also a trope of like when your spouse dies, you just go crazy. So
right.
like
Yeah.
And fair. It's fair.
Yeah, no, it's
but
I'm sure people do.
Yeah. But again, he's really, really carrying this movie. And I like how he goes and like he even says to his son beforehand, he's like, they didn't let me take anything. Like I don't even have a fucking picture of her. And then the first thing he does when they get there is he finds a picture of her. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's not just in it for the truth. Like he also like truly misses his wife and he just needs something, And that's good. That's a good touch.
It's also heartbreaking when he looks up and just sees the birthday banner.
It's good stuff.
And he's like, oh, that's right. It was my birthday.
Happy fucking birthday. Your wife's dead.
Why did the banner say that already?
Yeah. Who put this here? This had to be done after the fact. Who's the asshole?
They know I was coming back.
Godzilla! Who's Godzilla?
People come and take Ford and Joe to the nuclear power plant. I like that they're like, we're going to take them to question them, but we're just going to take them right to where the egg is. There's nowhere else they can take them. Yeah,
we're going to take them to this top secret place that they shouldn't know about. We'll take them right there. Take them right there.
Wasn't that because Ken Watanabe wanted to talk to him? They're like, bring him to me.
No, because they say to him when they get there, they're like, he says he used to work here.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that is dumb. That's really dumb. Yeah.
You wouldn't know because Ken Watanabe doesn't say a fucking word until like 40 minutes into this movie.
He's just staring off into space the whole time.
Yeah, he just gives everybody like a stern look and he takes off his glasses real slow. That's all he fucking does. Yeah. He doesn't do anything.
I feel like the power structure is really vague here. Like they kind of make it seem like he's in charge, but then like there are people that are opposing him. It's like what's going on here? Like who's?
I feel like there's no power structure because it's like military versus scientists.
Yeah,
but even that situation, someone's in control. Like
but then they even kind of like just are unclear. Is the monarch the good guys or the bad guys? Like they're kind of both. Like I don't know. It's weird and vague.
And like even when they. Like the military comes up with a plan, the scientists are like, no, it's not going to work. They're like, well, we're doing it. Like, all right, why are the scientists here?
I know they always do that.
Yeah,
it's like why did you even bother?
Why'd you ask? Why'd you ask if you're not going to take my opinion? It's like,
yeah, it's just like marriage.
Classic.
Why'd you even ask? You knew before you asked. Why'd you even bother?
As Joe yells at everyone, they realize he's right. Shit starts going down.
I liked when he was yelling at it, when he gets like a nice little monologue.
Yeah.
And he's like, he asks, he's like, I'm right, aren't I? I'm right, aren't I? And they're like, fuck.
Oh, we got to tell him.
Yeah, we killed your wife. Well, we didn't kill her, but like,
we killed your wife.
We kind of like covered it up and didn't do anything about it. Sorry, brother.
You got us.
Well, you're saying we didn't do anything about it. What would they do about it?
There's
nothing they could do. Yeah, I guess you could. In a way, I understand why governments and like the world would be like, no, we're gonna keep the idea of monsters under wraps.
Yeah, and they do, but then once a monster's out, it's like, well, there that goes. Everybody saw that.
Yeah, but the monster's not out yet. I mean, once that happens, they do that.
Yeah,
sure.
Because the general turns around and goes, all right, the fucking cat's out of the bag, dude. Like, now we're not worried about keeping it a secret.
Yeah.
He's destroyed Las Vegas.
If you watch all the later stuff, they make the mistake of like, yeah, no, this was around in the 60s and this and this and this and this. It's like, oh, okay. And I guess they've just been around forever, just like in the Marvel stuff when they go back. Oh no, that wasn't the first time. There's been lots of other times, and we've all been really super hush hush about it, and really haven't brought it up.
Damn cell phones.
Yeah, it's cell phones' fault. Yeah,
they ruined it for everybody. I remember in theaters, I was legit stunned that it wasn't Godzilla when that egg hatches.
I don't know. I didn't.
Well, didn't they already say like he's? They were like, oh yeah, we saw him in the intro credits. They said he's around since the 50s.
Yeah, but I genuinely thought it was just gonna be another Godzilla. I hadn't seen the trailers.
Well, they like tried to kill him in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought it was like an egg hatching of another Ziller.
Another Ziller.
Oh no, it's another Ziller.
It's Armaziller.
Well, then they kill Bryan Cranston, the best part of the movie. The guy was carrying it, and they kill him pretty unceremoniously.
Yeah, he was almost basically like off screen, like he was falling, and the camera seemed like it couldn't cut away sooner. Like it was just like, I couldn't wait to cut away from that scene.
Yeah,
it was like a real news story. Cut away! That guy's about to die. Move the camera. Move the camera.
Yeah. And he was just like in shadow. I think they probably did that with the hopes of, oh, maybe we can get him to come back for a surprise re-entrance to the franchise or something. But they just continue to kill off like a good cast every movie that they make.
Yeah, because then he definitively dies in the plane or the helicopter. Helicopter.
Is stupid. If you're gonna kill him, just kill him on the ground there. Have him say his piece. You don't need to bring him on the helicopter to die.
Yeah. It's so stupid. He gives you a hope, and then he dies.
Yeah, he dies
Or just like, oh, did he just die? And then he comes back, and she's like, oh, okay, good. And then he dies like a minute later.
He dies again. Yeah.
And then you have to watch him like covering his body, like sealing up the back. It's like, all right, we get it.
And then they're like, well, we got the next best thing. His son. What do you know about it? He's like, I don't know shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah. That franchise keeps doing this. We have their son. It's like, yeah, but they don't know anything about what's going on. So it's totally irrelevant.
We were estranged. I don't know what to tell you.
But then we get him. He's like, all right, well, they're flying me to Hawaii, and then I'm taking a plane home. So I'll be home soon. So he gets on a train, and a random little kid gets stuck. And he's like, don't worry, I'll bring you back. I was like, I better not miss my flight.
Yeah.
And
already guilting the child.
Chaos ensues. And we get him saving this kid, yada, yada, yada. Some more chaos ensues. He saves the kid, brings the kid to a tent. They're like, fill out this paperwork. Kid runs away, finds his parents on his own. The hell was the point of all that?
Mm-hmm.
That dude was so relieved he didn't have to fill out that form.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck was the point of all that?
They just wanted to give him something to be a hero about.
Well, first of all, yes, that is true, but it's a Godzilla movie, so you need the train scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
That's in every Godzilla movie, the train scene. I think this is a particularly bad train scene.
Yeah.
Because it makes no fucking sense. But this is here just to be the train scene.
I do like there is like it is a scary situation because I think more scary than the train because it's a monorail. So is that even like I think it's like automatic and like
I hear those things are awfully loud.
Nice.
And they're just like going towards this thing that's like waiting for them at the end of the tracks. Like that's a great scene. Just like how scary that must be. Like this is inevitable. We can do nothing to stop this.
Yeah.
We're heading straight for this beast.
Yeah.
I love the giant foot in the airport scene, you know, like when he makes
his
the
introduction
big
is
step.
awesome. Yeah.
He Gareth Edwards has this and he did it with Rogue One really well too. This proportion. He does like proportions really well. He gives you a really good size of scale and stuff.
Yeah.
And that scene's awesome. Like I wish there was more of that in the movie.
Yeah. I wish that there was more of Godzilla in this Godzilla movie too.
And it wasn't just Aaron Taylor Johnson on a plane or a train or in a car.
Yeah. Or running on foot, you know. Just less of him, more of Godzilla, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing with the kid, I like it bothered me because I was like, you know me, I don't like when something happens and then they're like, and now it's fixed.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that, as you saw in the Star Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I didn't like that. And then I was thinking, why did they put that in there? And I was thinking,
Andy was pissed they repaired the Death Star.
Why
Why did I watch the first fucking movie?
Yeah.
No. You know, I'm talking about the thing in the sewer that we had a fight about. Yeah. So, I was thinking maybe it's because he lost his parents, so he feels the need to make sure that that doesn't happen to anyone else. But here, that's me constructing that. You know, like the movie doesn't explicitly say anything like it's just like, why'd you put? I don't care about this kid. I don't even know this kid's name.
That's the thing. It can just be he's on a train and the shit attacks the monorail. It doesn't need to be, oh, he's got a kid to watch out for.
Yeah. Self-preservation is plenty of reason to survive. You know, like you don't need like, don't worry, kid.
Or there could just be, I mean, the scene where like the kid slide and he grabs him, like it's not like that would be any less harrowing if we didn't get to know the kid for 2 seconds prior. Like if that was just some random kid, I'd still be concerned about the kid, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I'd still be like, oh no, a child's gonna be injured. Like I don't need to get to know him. Like he's a child. It's automatically I'm gonna be concerned.
Yeah. It's I don't know. And there's like a couple of like reuniting scenes where it's like, okay, all right, like the first one's with the parents, hooray, and then later it's with the family, the boy and his son, all that. It's just like, I don't care about this. I really don't care. I don't like you're trying to
totally agree with that. Yeah.
I also don't care, but I think what they were trying to do is, I don't think it was about him with his parents losing. I think it's about he wants to reunite with his family, so he's looking at them reunited and be like, oh, I wish that were me. Being reunited with my wife and my son.
Yeah. Like that's his surrogate son right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Hey, listen, coincidentally, the Mudo just went to Hawaii at the same time he was. It's crazy how that works.
Weird.
It's
so stupid.
Weird.
It's really
crazy.
dumb.
Yeah.
That it takes it took them the same amount of time too. Not only did they get to the same spot, but it took them, even though they can travel at great speeds, you know, and then all over the globe, they just happen to end up there at the same time.
Yep.
Well, real quick, when these tourists, when they watch the water go away and then come in, the guy picks up his daughter and they're running. This little girl is emotionless.
Yeah.
As she's watching the water destroy the island. I'm going, is she rooting for the water?
She's good.
She's like, I'm done. I'm done on this mortal coil anyway.
My birthday wish came true.
Yeah. She's old enough where she should be screaming. She should be terrified.
I mean, you could be in shock, I guess.
No, she's not even in shock. She's bored.
Yeah, she's like, they're like, react. There's water. Pretend there's water. She's like, I love the water park. I don't see a problem here. But I don't know. It's I don't know. It seems like they're trying to take itself really seriously.
Yeah.
But it's not good enough to like pull that off.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So they realize that quickly in this franchise. They're like, all right, never mind. Let's just, I think, go straight to being a goofy.
Which that's what people want to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
The first one of these I saw was Godzilla vs. Kong. And it's a fucking massive punch up. And I was like, hell yeah.
No, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100% what it needs to be.
Yeah.
You know what the goofiest shot in this movie is? When Godzilla and the military are traveling together.
Oh, yeah.
There's like an overhead shot. You see a bunch of ships just riding alongside
They're so
Godzilla.
Close.
Yeah,
they're so close.
Yeah,
like,
what are you doing?
Give him an extra 500 feet. Like he's
America.
Like if he just decided to come up, they would all topple.
Yeah, you're dead.
Like it's so
which
dumb.
happens later, right?
Yeah.
Like
But Mark, it's America. It's the military, Mark.
Then the planes or the helicopters would be much more appropriate.
Yeah, but they can't because of EMPs and all that shit.
That's what I guess boats don't work. There's no electricity in boats.
Yeah, but like if your boat stops, you don't fall out of the sky, you know.
Yeah.
You just start floating.
True. So they've been talking all this time about the Mudo making calls, and they originally think they were calling Godzilla. I don't know why they thought that. They established early on. They're like, oh, they fight each other. And then like the Mudo's calling and like, oh, they must be calling Godzilla. What?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. Oh, yeah, I think the gazelle was calling the lion.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
No.
no, honey, no. Like, and what's funny is Serizawa never like goes, what? Like, he's like, I guess so. I was like, why? No, he's not. He's obviously not.
Yeah. And
That's
then they're like, it's a mating call. Like, yeah, no shit. Idiot.
idiots.
Um,
Hey.
Hey, Elizabeth Olsen, you gonna check your phone? Or what?
Real quick, thank you so much for listening. If you want to send us some feedback, send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. That's ROYDSREVUE@gmail.com.
You could also find our music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your music by searching The Royds. That's ROYDS. We have 2 albums and a Christmas song. Hope you like it.
Hey, Elizabeth Olsen, are you going to do something in this movie? Oh, no, because they're not going to give you anything to do? Okay.
Yeah, well, she calls him and can't get through. She's like, damn it. And then a couple scenes later, he calls her, leaves a voicemail. Never goes checked. You would think, hey, my husband just went to ground zero of this new disaster that happened, right?
Yeah.
And I just struggled calling him. You would think maybe she'd be glued to her phone.
Nope.
But she's not.
Yeah.
And even the broadcast of what's going on in Hawaii is happening. And she's like, stop watching that. What do you go to bed? Why don't you look at the TV screen, lady?
Put on Dora. Come on.
Yeah. Check your phone, number one. I mean that's number 1, 2, and 3. Check your fucking phone. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people being panicked and just like missing connections.
Yeah.
It's like this movie will have a streak of unbelievable luck and then a streak of unbelievable bad luck. Like it's
Yeah.
just ebbs and flows of good and bad luck.
Yeah. And then like a whole bunch of nothing happens for far too long.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, there's the scene with the train.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I hate that scene.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
Why do they have guns? They're like out on. They have guns with them out on, like as if that's they don't. They never fire. They never. What are you gonna do? You gonna shoot the Muto like with a fucking
Right? Yeah,
assault
and
rifle?
they'll point at it. They'll point at it too. They'll be like, "I'm gonna fire." I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
shoot."
Like, are you gonna try to kill it? Like, what?
Yeah. Even at the very end, when he's like about to get eaten, he pulls his pistol and he just points it at the thing. What the fuck is that
So
gonna do?
stupid. Yeah.
What are you doing?
When they reveal the second Muto or the second egg that they had, it turns out the U.S. government, in all their wisdom, put a creature that eats nuclear waste in with a shit ton of nuclear waste.
Yeah.
They're like, where do we'll just put it in nuclear waste. And then when they go there, once again, nobody notices the side of the mountain was totally blown off.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh my God, it escaped. And they're already inside. And then they pan out. And once again, the side of the mountain is gone.
Yeah.
We didn't look that way.
Probably because it's too dark and foggy, like this entire movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's well, it gets bad. It
That's
gets
actually
really bad.
That's actually a scan problem. The theatrical version of this movie is much brighter.
Really?
Yeah, for whatever reason, the home media scan was like very low res. Like even scenes that are bright, like someone had a comparison like of shots of like a bootleg or something, and it was so much brighter in the theaters.
Wow.
And they just like refused to fix it. They like did for the Blu-ray came out, it was like terrible, and then people are like, oh, they're gonna come out with a 4K, maybe they'll fix it. Nope, still just super dark. And then they put it on streaming that way. I'm sure most people probably have a hard time even watching some of the scenes in this movie.
That's the thing. I saw this in theaters and I didn't remember it being this fucking dark.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I can't see a thing on home release.
Yeah. It's nuts. I have like blackout curtains, and even that was like I could barely see what was happening. Like no lights, and like the only source of lights the TV, and I could still like just about make out what was happening.
Yeah. Wow.
When they see the Muto heading for Vegas, I'm going to call bullshit that the guy needed binoculars to see him.
Oh, is it that massive moving thing over there? Okay.
Yeah, he's looking into the desert, and he's like,
Yeah.
and he puts up. I was like, "Well, it's a giant bug.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
It's a 50-foot bug. You see it?
No,
That's
Tom,
the
Tom,
Muto.
over that way. Oh, yeah. No, now I see.
I like out in California, and Ford is just like trying to convince. Let me take the train with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any identification. Just believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he like designed the timer on the bomb or something.
Yeah,
It
something
was
like
all
that.
really vague and glossed over, and I didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very convenient that he happened to be a bomb expert.
Yeah.
For the plot of the movie.
And
Yeah.
the military is apparently going to lure the Mutos and Godzilla into the ocean and blow them to smithereens.
Yeah, which is the thing they tried to do. They did do it, and it
Yeah,
didn't
and
work out. So
all their logic is like, well, this is a bigger bomb.
Well,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Maybe
They eat radiation. They eat that.
Well, what
Yeah.
they're hoping happens is they eat so much they explode because they just got finished watching Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
Very good.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, I did
dumb.
like how as soon as they said that, the scientists are like, they feed on radiation. Like, yeah, but this ain't your mother's radiation. You're an idiot. You guys are idiots.
It's like you've been wrong about literally everything. Why are you like this?
Yeah.
You're consistently wrong, and then when I'm like, you were wrong, he's like, no, it's because of Obama. These monsters have nothing to do with that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So then they do the plan, and it doesn't work.
Shocking.
And here's a question. Why were they still using fighter jets at this point? Because the kaiju, they know the kaiju does massive EMP boost waves, right?
Yeah.
So like he does it in the city, and then planes start falling out of the sky. Why were the planes there?
Yeah.
You knew it did that. You even
They already
said
did
it
that.
before. We can't use helicopters. We got to find this thing on foot, they said.
Yeah. They also
And
know
yet-
that nothing they've done affects them whatsoever. So why are they just wasting bombs and
Yeah.
people's lives? Why are they even? And they're like, if you don't solve it, we're gonna go in and kill them. And he's just like, no, you're not. You can't. It's not even.
Yeah.
You don't have that
how
option.
this works.
Right. And that's the whole thing is the humans are entirely useless because all the problems that the humans solve are problems that they created themselves.
Yeah.
Well, they evacuate San Francisco, and it's such a piss poor job of evacuating that they close the Golden Gate Bridge about 20 minutes after announcing the evacuation.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
like, there's school buses and shit just stuck on the bridge. Like, we had to close it. You just evacuated.
Yeah. And you also like you're just closing it by having army trucks block the road, like right in the middle of the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, what's that
What are you
accomplishing?
Yeah. What are you doing?
This isn't a quarantine. Like, you're not gonna let the Godzilla out. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah.
What's their problem?
And then we get some serious Cloverfield vibes with some of the
Yeah.
shots in the school bus.
Yeah.
And the bus driver does the right thing because he just zooms through everybody.
Yeah. He sees it. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Good.
call.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to get if they arrest that man. There's not a jury in the world that would convict him.
Yeah.
Like, again, why did he have to break past the blockade? I don't really understand why there's a blockade.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason they weren't letting us leave the bridge. Once we got on the bridge, they told us this
Yeah.
is where we need to stay.
Wouldn't the block be like at the beginning of the bridge? Like, you can't get on the bridge. Not like, no, you can't go further on the bridge. This is as far as you
Right.
can go on the
You
bridge.
must
Yeah.
stop center of the bridge.
Yeah.
The safest part of the
Safest
bridge.
part of any bridge is right in the middle, baby. Especially when there's kaijus walking around.
Hey, Long Island, Rob here from The Royds, letting you know I'm going to be performing this St. Patrick's Day at Nostalgia in Bethpage. I'll be performing with such great comedians as Steve Rocco Perillo, Mike Keegan, Carla Okerson, Jack Simmons, and Hugh Murray. So come on down to Nostalgia in Bethpage on March 17th for a St. Patrick's Day comedy show. The Mudos have a nice tender moment right in the middle of the city as the lady places a bomb near her glowing sack.
Yep. Hey, here's a question.
Yeah. That turn you on?
No.
Oh.
Questions. How come when we see these nests, only one big old kaiju came out of them, but then when she lays the eggs, there's like thousands of them?
It's like a sack, isn't it?
Yeah, but like in the beginning when they break open,
there's just two giant eggs. I get what Andy's asking.
Yeah,
I see.
So what do all of these thousands of little kaijus combine into one big one?
Maybe, or maybe they. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I had
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I just figured it's like Alien. There's like a multi-stage. Maybe it's like multi-process.
They all just start morphing into one another.
No, but like the alien, like the xenomorph, it's like it's got like 3 different stages of life. So maybe it's got a multi-stage process of laying eggs. I don't know, or it's bad writing, or both.
Let's go with both.
You know what I would say? They burn it to a crisp, so it doesn't matter anyway, because we'll never find out.
No.
Sure.
They just fucking burn it, and the female Mudo is like, "Wah!"
Yeah, she goes, my babies.
Yeah. They do a good job of making all these things do feel like real animals in that regard.
Yes.
Like they do kind of act like real animals.
Well,
so I gotta give them credit for that.
Godzilla kills the male with a big old tail whip. I
Yes.
thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the way he kills the other one is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like breathes the fire into its mouth, and then its head falls off.
Yeah.
Hey, you should have done more of that in this movie.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you actually need to have more Godzilla in order to be doing that. So
yeah, maybe have like 6 of these things and have them just fight those for the whole movie.
And this movie is like what, 2 hours and change? A little bit over 2
Yeah.
hours.
Over 2
Like
hours.
they could have trimmed 20 minutes off this movie, and it would have done a world of difference.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things they could have trimmed off, everything after the Mudos die, movie's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla won.
Yeah, Godzilla just takes a nap and then he gets up. He's like, later. And they're like, hooray, big lizard.
Well, there's no tension here. Because there's a scene where Elizabeth Olsen's looking around the football stadium, and it's like, I know they're gonna get reunited.
Yeah.
There's no way this movie's not gonna have a happy ending. Let's go.
It's like introducing characters like Elizabeth Olsen and then keeping them in the foreground even though they have nothing to do. So she's just there and she's doing hospital stuff, and then she's like, oh, I'm with this group of people, we're in this building, oh my god, there's Godzilla, now we're moving, now we're over here, oh my god, there's another kaiju, okay, now we're moving. She's got nothing to do except react.
Yeah. That's all she's doing.
Cut it out. We don't need it.
There's a lot of human characters in this movie, and
cut them out.
Yeah, cut them out. There's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, and none of them are interesting except the one guy they killed in the beginning, and that's Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And only 2 characters in this movie even go on to be in the rest of the franchise. So it's movie is largely pointless. You could skip this one entirely, despite being the first movie.
You really
I wish I did. This was boring. It had 2 highlights, and it was when Godzilla killed those 2 monsters.
Yeah.
And the Bigfoot scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bigfoot scene was cool. Like his intro when he does the big roar. That was cool.
Tarantino's favorite scene.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video online of the woman walking up to Quentin Tarantino and be like, "Can you sign my foot?"
No.
And this dude is about to explode. He's like, "Yes, I can do that."
Yikes.
And like,
Yikes.
and she goes, "Will you rate my foot?" And he goes, "I'm not gonna rate your foot, but it is very nice." And like this dude is like ready to go. It's like, oh boy.
I can't say any more words
Yosh.
right now, or
Yeah. I have to sit down. Well,
should we go to Letterboxd?
You took the words right out of my butt.
Oh, I was gonna sing there, but
Must have been when you were kissing me on the butt.
All right, let's go to Letterboxd. Man.
All right,
let's go to Letterboxd. Okay, I think this movie is too dark. I think Bryan Cranston carries the first half of this movie, and then it's very, very kind of nothing.
Yeah.
The big fight at the end is fun. I want to give it 2 stars.
Well, Godzilla looks good.
Yes, Godzilla.
Yes.
The design of Godzilla is excellent.
Yes. The design of the Mutos is less excellent,
yes,
but still not bad. You know.
yeah,
It's fine. You know, the problem is when the movie becomes so dark and then the Mutos are just black bugs.
yeah.
Yeah.
It loses all the design just becomes kind of pointless once you can't see any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Based on the version that I watched, I would say 2 stars. I would say 2.5. I think it's right in the middle of the road. I think it's like, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It's just kind of boring and needs a little editing and different lead actors.
So you
Besides Bryan
change almost
Cranston.
everything about it.
No. And a different script and
yeah, just
it should be brighter.
A massive overhaul of everything.
Yeah, but it's got a good solid structure, you know. But 2.5, I'd agree with.
Andy?
I'd go 2. I also watched this when I had like a fever, so I was miserable to begin with. So I think I'm being a little harsh, but this was not keeping my interest at all.
I mean, I'm a huge silly zilly guy, and I gave it 2 too. So
Yeah.
All right, I'd go 2.
Yeah.
Let's go 2.
Yeah. All right. So the official Letterboxd rating of Silly Zilly 2014 is 2 stars.
The silly universe.
Yeah, the silly. Yeah,
Silly. Wait, what was it?
Silly Zilly.
Silly Zillyverse.
Yeah. All right, you guys got some trivia?
I have 3 trivia.
I have 5 trivia.
No trivia.
All right. Hey, which Muto has wings? The male or the female?
Andy,
Andy.
the male.
It is the male, yeah.
Godzilla was originally going to be found in a Siberian glacier, in Antarctica, or in the Mariana Trench.
Mark.
Rob.
Mark.
Mariana Trench.
No.
The glacier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Avatar style.
Yeah.
Ford is in what branch of the military? The Navy, the Army, the Air Force, or the Marines?
Andy.
Andy.
The Marines.
No.
Mark.
The Marines said no. Mark.
Air Force.
No.
Andy.
Andy.
The Army.
No.
The fourth one.
It's the Navy. Yeah. The Marines, in the original script, he was going to be in the Marines, but the Marines said no. They looked at it and were like, no, this isn't befitting a Marine.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're all those people will toss money at whatever movie to make it seem like it's cool to be.
Well, apparently they suggested the Navy because they were like, you know what? You don't get represented on TV on movies enough. So we need some good propaganda for the Navy. And then we see it. They teamed up with Godzilla.
Yeah, Navy and the Godzilla.
Yeah, they did. They didn't do anything, but they did.
No, yeah.
They were certainly there.
They went on a road trip.
Remember when he pulled a pistol on that giant kaiju? Idiot.
Stupid.
Godzilla. Oh, sorry, I already asked that. All right. The original name of the Monsterverse was Zillaverse, Godzillaverse, or Monsterverse.
Rob. Was it just Monsterverse?
It was always Monsterverse, yes. I'm a rascal.
Nice. When the Mudo hatches, the news says that it is an earthquake. What is the size of the earthquake? 7.5, 6.8, 8.1, 6.3.
Andy. What was it? The choices?
7.5, 6.8. Which one? No, it's not 7.5.
Damn it.
I like how you said, which one is it? Like I'm going to tell you the answer.
Yeah, which is the right one?
I'll say that one.
Yeah.
Mark.
6.8.
No. Is it
Andy.
8.1 or 6.3? Andy.
6.3.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's me. How many minutes is Godzilla in this movie for? 9, 10, 11, or 12?
I don't see more than I thought. All those answers are more than I would have just guessed. Rob.
Yeah.
9.
No.
Mark.
Yeah.
11.
It is 11 minutes.
Wow.
This 2-hour Godzilla movie, called Godzilla, has 11 minutes of Godzilla in it.
I give him 11 minutes.
Yeah. But, again, though, like Jurassic Park has like something like 12 or 13 minutes of dinosaurs, like.
Yeah, but they
So
make
it's just,
it count.
it depends on what you do with your time, It's
Maximize your
also,
minutes.
They're building up all the characters in all the iconic characters in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Name one character in Godzilla.
Kick-Ass.
Godzilla.
Other than Godzilla
Kick-Ass.
and the Mudos. Yeah, Kick-Ass guy and Walter White.
Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
What's the name of the Navy ship Sarazawa brings Ford and Joe's body onto? The USS Intrepid, the USS Saratoga, the USS Sarasota, the USS Navy boat.
Andy. USS Navy boat.
No, it is not the USS Navy boat.
I
Mark.
thought it was it.
USS Saratoga.
It is the Saratoga, yeah.
Wow.
I got one more question.
Do it.
What is the news station that Sam and Elle see the Mudo fighting Godzilla on? WXYM, KWPL, KYPN, WKLY.
Andy. The third one.
Yeah, KYPN, you are correct.
Hell
Nice.
yeah, brother.
Well, do you guys know what I did?
Did you write a song?
I wrote a song.
Oh,
shit.
Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, shit. So you know what it's time for?
The Wheel
We
of
end of the podcast.
No, it's the Wheel of Names. It's not shame or the end of the podcast. And you know who's going first, guys?
Who?
The wheel.
Me.
Here he goes.
So I'm going first. My song is called Quarantine Zone. And I like to delve into my little fun bad rapping. And that's a little bit of this.
Great.
So here's my song called Quarantine Zone. It's about the movie Godzilla.
From San Francisco down to Tokyo, everybody's calling him Pinocchio. They're calling him crazy, they're calling him a kook, all because he wants to find out the truth. He wants to know what really happened, what could have caused that nuclear reaction. Why is he now all alone, getting caught sneaking into a quarantine zone? He saw some pups, the jig is up. This place ain't radioactive enough. In fact, it ain't radioactive at all. And he heard some creature make a call. And wouldn't you know, something called back. He's got the proof, he's got the facts. It's the same call as 15 years ago. It's something you don't want the public to know. From the water to the slaughter, they take no side. No legislature can stop nature. Quarantine your mind. 1954, and here we've got a choice. sure. Gotta kill Godzilla, who's on the ocean floor. Gotta keep it from the press that we're coming for the best. Gonna kill the Monster King, or he'll wreck everything. He'll destroy the whole world. Every boy, every girl, every woman, every child. We can't let him run wild. An ancient creature before the time of our own, and we found a whole graveyard of giant lizard bones. From the water to the slaughter.
That was my song called Quarantine Zone.
Yeah, nice harmonica solo there.
Thanks.
I enjoyed that.
That was also my little homage to the Blue Oyster Cult song, Godzilla, at the end.
Yeah, I love that.
Nice.
I really enjoyed this. I really like the I don't even know the I guess the beat you start off with, that section I really enjoyed. And then there was just like random stuff that would start happening later on. Just like a random synthesizer sound would start happening randomly. I really enjoyed that bit.
Thanks.
And really nice flow of your rapping. I wouldn't even say it was bad. It was just like campy.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's very campy. Yeah. I was drinking pretty heavily when I was doing the rapping part.
I'm calling the police.
I guess that's fine.
Drinking, recording while under the influence.
Yeah, exactly.
A big no-no in the music industry.
And Laura got a real good laugh at me because she listened to the song and she goes, really thick Long Island accent there. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, 1954, and here we've got a chore.
Yeah. It's like Beastie Boys or something.
Yeah,
That's
It's all right. I was really trying to fight from water. I was singing the word water in the chorus, and it's a little low maybe, but I was going from the water. And I was like, okay, Rob, you really have to enunciate your ER here, man. You really got to do it. This is the one time the ER is better, Rob. You guys ready for the wheel of names?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's spinning. Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
You're up.
Wow. My song is called Robbie, help me out. What is my song called?
It's called The Tooth.
What?
It's called The Tooth.
The Truth?
Yeah. I was hoping you would go with The Tooth.
Okay. I thought maybe I misspelled it.
What a funny joke.
That's usually what people say when they hear funny things. What
a
funny joke.
When people are just confused about what you say.
Yeah. Wow. What a funny joke. Well, I wrote this seconds before I recorded it, and I was all woozy. I have COVID at the time of recording, and I got like some serious brain fog going on. Like I can't concentrate on anything for more than See what I did?
No, I didn't.
But I couldn't tell you how this went, so hopefully it goes well. Check it out. It's called The Truth. My wife is dead because of your negligence. You hide the truth because you don't want to spook the people at large. Oh, but you're the people in charge. My wife is dead because of your negligence. You hide the truth because you don't want to spook the people at large. Oh, but you're the people in charge. My son doesn't see all the lies and deceit pulled over our eyes. So many people die. I demand the truth. Oh, I wanna hear it from you. Son doesn't see all the lies and deceit you've pulled over our eyes. So many people die. I demand the truth. Oh, I want to hear it from you. So that's my song. It's called The Truth. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Is
You
there
can't handle the truth.
Yeah. That's
a
a
nice-
different movie.
a nice melody there. I can see some
Oh,
nice
thank you.
harmonies going over there too. That's some nice stuff.
Wheel of Shames.
All right.
All right, one of you said it before, so now it's just a wheel of shameful things.
I'm
All right,
ashamed
so
of
Mark,
that.
you this. No, it's a shameful thing you have to do. All right, so
I
Mark,
know.
so you have to. Oh, Mark, you have to show us a song you wrote about Godzilla.
I did it.
That is very shameful.
I felt shame while doing it for sure. This is called Godzilla versus GarageBand. All tracks, all out clash. And I based it off of the Dandy Warhols. I just ripped off the
Nice.
Dandy Warhols. And also there's a bit of the original Godzilla theme in there. And then I don't know if you guys have ever seen the TV show, like the cartoon TV show from 1978. But I used to watch that as a kid, and I got the theme in there too at the end, a bit of the theme in there. So it's a lot of fun, and I spent way too much time on it.
Okay.
This is broadcast, emergency broadcast. It's a message from the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Godzilla is headed to the San Francisco area. Gather loved ones and get it. I still can. I repeat, evacuate. while you still can.
Everyone says I'm a real cool dude, but my favorite pastime, sadly very rude. Destroying skylines, atomic bombs for food. But those moodos should adjust their attitude. Now I know what I have to do. I've been around a lot longer than World War II. Everyone wants me to fight you. Look in your eyes says to me you won't refuse. This movie should have had more big fights. This movie should have had more big feats. This movie should have had more Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston. Godzilla.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a nice song. It's Mike Gagliardi on the French horn for the intro part and the outro part.
I agree with all your points there.
Yeah. Excellent stuff.
Thanks.
I'll be honest, I don't know the Dandy Warhols, so I don't know how it's ripping
Oh.
off the Dandy Warhols, but
Yeah, it's just their general vibe. Check.
Oh.
I mean, it's a pretty bad approximation, because I'm not as good as them. But you check it out.
don't say that about yourself.
Well, I'm not as good as them as at sounding like them.
Okay, that's
More
a fair
like-
point.
More like the Andy Warhol.
The Andy Rob
right?
Halls.
Very
Nice.
good. Very good. Very good.
Oh shit. Well, I enjoyed that.
So did I.
Thank you.
Wow.
Hmm.
Well, Robbie, what do we got going on next week?
That's a great question. Next week, it is episode number, is that right? 99.
Wow.
Wow.
And what are we doing for that episode?
I'm making sure I'm not looking at that incorrectly, by the way. Hang on one second.
Oh, okay.
I'm not looking at it incorrectly. Yeah, next week is episode 99. We are
Wow.
doing Godzilla, King of the Monstars.
Wow, the team that faced the Looney Tunes?
Yep.
The Toon Squad?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. What a weird crossover.
It is, but you know what? It's all on Warner Brothers, so.
The hard left turn after this
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Is this better than the movie we watched for today?
Yes,
I think so.
By a lot or by a little?
a lot.
By a lot. Yeah.
Good.
Because you can't call a movie Godzilla King of the Monsters and not have monsters in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of monsters in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me tell you where you can find the music.
Good idea.
You go to Spotify, you go to Apple Music, you go to Deezer, And you type in The Royds, you search, we got two albums and a Christmas song, and maybe some podcast songs on there. And then you, for all the podcast songs, you can go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com. You'll find every single podcast song we've ever done, as well as guest songs and bonus songs. Yeah, leave a 5-star review, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Robbie, the socials.
That is a great question. You go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, you go to Threads, you go to X, you go to YouTube, you type in TheRoydsBand. That's where you'll find us. Send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com, ROYDSREVUE@gmail.com, and give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to us. That would help.
Yeah, tell your friend.
Yeah. Mark, anything to promote? We ask you this a lot.
I never have anything to promote. I'll let you know when I do. Maybe
Excellent.
one day.
One day.
All right.
One day.
Well, next week. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Oh, thank you. Next week, we're doing Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and then we have our 100th episode spectacular.
Wow.
Wowza.
100 episodes.
Wow, yowza. Yeah.
That's a lot of songs.
That is a lot of songs.
And a lot of nonsense.
Mostly nonsense.
All right. Next week, we're doing Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Mark, thanks as always for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
And, bye, everybody. Roar. You know, it's a Godzilla, and we're doing monsters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
should
it's
do like
good.
a monster sign off.
Yeah. Bye, monsters.
What are we talking to Lady Gaga fans?
Bye, big monsters.
There we go. By real monsters.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Andy, you got one?
Bye.
Excellent.
Pretty good, right?
Well,